Welcome to a brand new edition of What's That Movie. I am your host, as always, Norman McGuire, and next to me is not my lovely and talented co-host, Kayla Marie Albert. Instead, it's my other lovely and talented co-host, and the returning Kaz Ventura. Kaz, welcome back to What's That Movie.
Hello.
Have you missed us?
Oh, yes.
We've missed you. And today, what a way to come back. We're going to be talking about one of the most beloved franchises, probably in history. It is the Pirates of the Caribbean. Started by Johnny Depp, obviously. So let's dive right in. The first one, you want to talk about the first one since you want to kick us off?
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
I'll just be the returning.
The first movie's like any other franchise. It starts everything. We first meet Captain Jack Sparrow in this movie, as well as who else plays in this movie?
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom and what's the chick's name? Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
I forget their characters' names. It's been a while since I've seen these movies. Let's see. Orlando Bloom plays like not a slave kind of thing, but he plays.
He's like assistant blacksmith kind of thing.
Yeah, and he falls in love with the king, right? The king's daughter.
Yeah.
And Jack Sparrow comes and tries to find his ship, the Black Pearl.
Yeah, he just kind of pops out of nowhere there.
Yeah, and he tries to find his Black Pearl ship, and somehow Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley come along. I forget how that happens.
He kind of like Johnny Depp kind of gets into this mess where he ends up in prison, and Orlando Bloom comes in, and he's like, "Yo, man, you were talking about some crazy stuff there. You gotta help a brother out." So kind of get that kind of sense that way, and yeah.
Yeah. The first one, the favorite of all four of them for me. I think it's more funnier than the other three, or the following three. Like, there's a lot of funny parts in this movie.
In the fourth one?
In the first one here.
Oh, in the first one,
A
yeah.
lot more funny parts.
It's been a while since I've seen the first one,
Yeah,
but
it's been a while.
it's definitely it's a solid movie.
Mm-hmm. The second one, I don't remember much of this one either. Of course, everyone comes back. Keira Knightley, Orlando Bloom, Johnny Depp. I think they lifted Dead Man's Chest, right? That's why it's called Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah, that's Davy Jones, I believe.
Davy Jones, yes.
Yeah, Davy Jones. Who could forget that?
A little disclaimer: it's been a while since we've seen these movies, so please bear with us that we might forget a few things here.
It's been a little while.
But
Davy Jones, oh man, love that dude. He's great.
I'm trying to think. His wife's not in this one. No. The third one, At World's End.
Yeah, the third one's At World's End is where they kind of like go together and meet all these other pirates and stuff, and they. I can't remember if Barbossa comes back in the beginning or
At the end of the second one, I think.
At the end of the second one, he comes back, so he's in this one all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of clash between Barbossa and Johnny Depp there it's crazy. It's hilarious at points.
Yeah, this is the last film with Orlando and Keira Knightley.
Yep.
Which, because didn't he die in this movie? They had to give someone his heart or something like that? In a bottle or something like that, and because of that he becomes the leader of a ship. Something like that.
Oh, yeah, something like I don't.
So it was a good.
We probably should have watched these movies before we.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens. If not, comment below and tell us that we're wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's how it ended in.
It's in the second or the. No, it's in the.
I think it's the third one.
I think it's the story of the third one, but I think the heart cutting out happens in the second one.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Again, comment below if any of us are wrong here.
The third and the second one are kind of tied together in that sense, and also the ending there where Barbossa comes back. So there's two kind of senses that tie the second and third together really well.
Yeah, and then there's the fourth one, it's the most recent one, At World's End, right?
No.
What's this one? Oh, on Stranger Tides.
Yes, on Stranger Tides.
There's like 3 or 4 ships, like, they're all going for something, aren't they? They're looking for something.
To be honest, I don't know.
Oh, the Fountain of Youth. They're looking for the Fountain of Youth.
Yes, that one with Redbeard in it.
Yeah, and
Redbeard or whatever.
yeah,
Whichever one.
Mr. Beard
Something about a beard.
and Jack Sparrow. Actually, they team up towards the end. Spoiler alert. And yeah, they look for the Fountain of Youth. And again, it's been a while since I've seen that one as well. But we're not here to remember all the films. We're here to discuss the films itself. And this
Overall, this whole series is really, it's one of the strongest series, I think. And even though that the fourth one kind of fell apart a little bit, I don't like it in comparison to the other three. But I mean, with all of the movies that are coming out nowadays, like the Spider-Man set, the first two were great. Third one, we all know how that happened. The fourth one wasn't much better. And the X-Men set, the first few are good, the latest few are terrible. So, I mean, it's kind of a trend, and Pirates of the Caribbean have been able to keep that they're good all the way through. I mean, the fourth one does touch down a little bit, but in comparison to pretty much every other set that's out there, Pirates of the Caribbean has been the one that's been able to hold it together the strongest, I think. Other than, of course, Lord of the Rings and the Harry Potter stuff. I mean, that's...
that goes to... Because me and Kayla had a discussion about franchises that go on for too long, and the movies start to suffer because of that.
Right, yeah.
So I think that's kind of what you're touching on. And me and Kayla actually talked about this in our season premiere about Pirates. Because these have... when was the first one come out? 2005, 2006 or something like that. And the recent one comes out in 2011, so there's a 5-year span of 4 movies here.
Right.
And they're thinking about doing a new fifth and sixth one in the next couple of years, and we talked about whether they should come out right now, or wait a few years.
Careful, so that way that it doesn't fall apart like the other series do.
Because in my opinion, in franchises like this, the one that follows, in the first one, okay, but then the second one has to be as good as the first one, if not better.
Right.
The third one has to be as good as that, if not better, but way better than the first, and it keeps going and on and on. And if it doesn't do that, I think there's no point.
The problem with first ones is that they spend a lot of time introducing the character, and that's something that the Pirates of the Caribbean set has a very unique approach to, is because they're playing with these really, really weird characters that are all really, really cool, and Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow. I mean, it's hysterical. So you don't even really pay attention to the introduction of the characters like you do in most series. It's not something it's not a noticeable thing, really. I mean, so in a way, the first two of these are really good. I would put them on equals, and then the third one was alright. I don't know if I liked it as well as the second one or not, but then the fourth one, I don't know. So
I have 2 questions. I'll go with what you're going off, because the first one, you can agree or disagree with me, has more comedy than the other 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you think I feel like every movie has got away from the humor and went more to the action, adventure, fantasy kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of pushing more toward that, especially with the latest one and the whole Fountain of Youth
The
thing.
third and fourth one, I think, had more action and all that stuff. And I felt they've been much longer than these 2, or at least the first one.
The first one I definitely think was the best. It has the best sense of humor in it. It's got that introductory that I particularly loved. And yeah, I mean, it's just something that you don't see in any other movie.
And here's an interesting question. I know it's going to be hard to answer because, we've only had one person. Would this be as popular if Johnny Depp didn't play Jack Sparrow?
No.
You think it would be completely different?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that the cast that they chose, and Johnny Depp being able to play that character, I mean that...
Honestly, with all 4 movies, they didn't need Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley in each film. With Jack Sparrow, he held the 4th one by himself.
Yeah, but the problem with that is because
Because you couldn't do it
They've
with...
been in 3 other movies.
Right.
Everyone expected them to be in the 4th.
Right.
So it goes along kind of with like the whole typecast theme.
Mm.
It's like, oh, where are those characters? We know those characters as those people. Where are they?
Are they that important? Say, because they're not in the 4th one, like we said. You didn't really miss them. Maybe you did. But it would be different if Johnny Depp wasn't in it and Orlando and Kira were in.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, that wouldn't be
what I mean?
very good at all. I mean, it's kind of this. The whole thing is this.
Because you don't really
Everyone
miss them.
watches this for the struggle of like, okay, who is Jack Sparrow? What side is he on? Because in every single movie, he changes sides like 5 or 6 times at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, whose side is he playing for? You know?
Right. Which is what I think, like everyone watches these movies for. And I mentioned earlier there's going to be a 5th and possibly 6th one. Do you think that's pushing it too much, especially with this series, where I feel that there's not much more they can really do with it?
It depends on what they do. They've already explored a lot of their options. I think that 6th one is overdoing it.
Well, if they're going to do more, I would say 6 because that's a brand new trilogy right there, so they could be doing a new trilogy.
That's true. They could branch off and have the first 3, because the first 3 have those 3
Those
names in
original
it.
ones.
And then this one just has Jack Sparrow and a couple other characters. So if they do that as a trilogy, the problem with that is that I didn't particularly care for the 4th one. So, I mean, it all depends. I liked the first 3 much better than the 4th one. So if they do it as a trilogy, then they're going to have to pick it up.
Right. But at the same time, there are dedicated fans that are going to watch it no matter what.
Of course.
I mean, the 4th one was one
I'm
of
not
the...
saying that I wouldn't go to see it.
Right.
I'm just saying that, I mean, if they want their continued fan base, they've really gotta pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I think another trilogy is a really good idea. It
But
might be
after
a little
that-
over the top, but the 4th one kind of just, it didn't hold its own.
No. And I think that goes back to having just one of the original characters, but I think it didn't hurt it enough without Orlando and Kira in it, because everyone loves Jack Sparrow so much.
Right, yeah. It didn't play as big of a factor. It wasn't a bad movie. It's sitting on the table, so.
Yeah, so... But this is a very good franchise. I think we both can agree that we can, what's the word I'm looking for?
I'm sure.
Oh man. Everyone should watch these movies, but I can't think of the word. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Might do that.
I suggest you all watch this. I don't know what the word I'm thinking
Oh
of.
yeah, if you have not seen this series, go out, watch these right now. Stop watching What's That Movie? Go watch these movies, because I mean they're a must see. They really are.
Why can't I think of the word? What
Are
do
you trying to say endorsed?
No.
Because
I mean, like,
as good as they are, they're not.
when you're telling someone to watch these movies, what are you doing?
Ordering them to watch the movies,
No, what is it?
recommending them.
Recommending, there we go, recommendation. These are huge recommendations. Anyways, we spent way too much time on that, and I think someone's trying to break into our studio, so I think that's our cue to leave. Thank you for watching. Our next episode, which I just thought of right now, so this man over here is a huge comic fan,
Oh yeah.
and he has a lot of opinions about the superhero films, so our next episode is going to be about superhero films.
Sounds
The
good.
good, the good and the bad,
Mm.
and the so-so. So until next time, America, this has been Norman McGuire.
And Casman Trout.
We'll see you next time on What's That Movie?
Yes, we will.